Hi everyone, you're watching Campus France Live. Thanks a lot to be there with us today. We're here to make you discover the higher education in France. And today for a live conference, we are with ICN Business School and we are going to discover its innovative teaching approach rooted in the art technology management. A special focus will be placed on the MSc in International Management, which offers a triple diploma. And we're going to talk about all of this subject with our speakers of today. First of all, Dr. Kamel Ministri, hi.
Hi.
You're Associate Professor at ICN Business School and Director of the MIEX program. We're also with Alexandra Czerska, hi.
Hello.
You're International Promotion Manager, and we are with Alejandro Cuevas Dominguez, hi.
Hello.
You're an alumni of the school. You can ask all of your questions in the chat section. We're going to answer them during this live session. You can ask us about the school, about the student life, about the admission process. And if you are watching us in replay, you can also ask your question in the comment section, and the team of the school is going to answer all of your questions. But first of all, my very first questions for you is, can you all introduce yourself in a few words? Let's begin with you, Kamel.
Okay, well, I'm Kamel Ministri. I'm professor at ICN Business School. I'm a member of the Department Human Resource Management and Organizational Behavior. I teach and I do my research on creativity, leadership, and sustainability. As you mentioned, I'm also the director of the MSc in International Management, the MIEX program, but as you mentioned also, we will have the opportunity to talk about it later.
Yeah, we will talk further about it. Alexandra, can you introduce yourself in a few words?
Of course. Thank you. My name is Alexandra Czerska. I'm in charge of the international promotion at ICN Business School, also in charge of admissions, so I can answer all your questions in terms of how to study at ICN, how it is to study in these three different campuses, so do not hesitate to ask questions.
And Alejandro, can you introduce you in a few words and maybe tell us where you're from?
Yes, sure. Hi all. I am Alejandro. I am from Mexico. Currently, I am based in France. I am working for Decathlon in Lille, and I was part of the generation of MIEXers in 2017 to 2019.
Alexandra, can you tell a few words about ICN and tell us the story of the school, what we can do there?
Of course, thank you. So I would say that ICN is a French business school with a great history. The school is triple accredited, so it confirms the highest standards in terms of education, in terms of research, business and academic partners. I would say also that ICN is still a small business school with 3,000 students. So we say always that it's like a family spirit with 38% of international students. So I think it's a nice score. And we say join our family because at ICN we are like in the family, like both academic students and administrative staff. We are very close to each other. So we will talk also about this specific teaching approach, art technology management, but I think we will talk about it later.
And you have 3 campuses, right? Where are they located?
Of course, we have 3 campuses in Paris, Nancy, and Berlin in Germany. So it's really like a strategic choice for us for these 3 campuses, which are like an identity of ICN at the heart of Europe. We are really happy to have them.
And we are going to discover the different campuses thanks to a little trailer, a little video. We will be back just after that.
To your last $5 to who smokes, you got a big dream. You're just an ambitious proletariat, questioning what it all means now that you found out that it doesn't mean anything to be right when the world is wrong. I'm so sorry to hear that you're crestfallen alone now. Do you believe in this thing? Something bigger than you, something bigger than me. Until you wish it was true, until you wish it was me. You see it. Something small, just a flicker, and you swear it was real, but you fool fall for the first time, for the last time, for the first time, for the last time. I'm so sorry to hear that you're crestfallen alone now. Do you believe in this thing? Something bigger than you, something bigger than me. Until you wish it was true, until you wish it was me.
That's a really cool way to discover the different campuses. If you're joining us, hi, welcome to Campus France Live. You can ask all your questions about ICN Business School, and we're talking about the different program. Alexandra, what are the different program of ICN Business School, and in which languages are they taught?
Yes, so we have programs both on the undergraduate and postgraduate level, both in English and in French. So we have a 3-year bachelor degree in management. We have master in management. It's a prestigious Grande École degree. And also the MSc Specializations. We will talk about them later. And of course, PhD program in business and management, as well as an executive MBA. But this program is for professionals. So a large spectrum, I would say, programs.
Kamel, let's focus a bit on the MSc in International Management. Can you describe it a little bit, what we can do there? What is the profile of the student that you have, and what is the idea of the master?
Well, the MSc in International Management, or the MIEX, we call it more, the MIEX is a 2-year program. It is, let's say, an alliance between 6 partner universities, including ICN Business School in Nancy and in Berlin, MGIMO in Russia, University of Bologna in Italy, ECAST, which is East China University of Science and Technology in China, LaSalle in Mexico, and the University of Porto Alegre in Brazil. The MIEX is a unique opportunity for anyone who is looking really for an international career path. The program is designed to equip students with the right skills to work internationally or to work for international companies. I personally say it is the first step of international mobility for young graduates, basically.
Alejandro, you're a student of this MSc. First of all, why did you choose to study at ICN?
First of all, once I got graduated from my bachelor's, it was quite difficult to make a research of what was more convenient for my next professional step in terms of knowledge and also in terms of appliance. So I started to work as a full-time back in Mexico, but I wanted to do more. As I said, I wanted to give the next step. And then I come from one of these partner universities that Camille was speaking about, from La Salle in Mexico. So they came with this program that could put you in these 2 years in many different places all over the world. And then since that moment, I understood that I had to come with this mind opened in order to think about the future, and it's what also the university was giving to me. Once I was able to dig more about the information that was provided by ICN, and basically having the chance to experience this multicultural surrounding that was given by the school, I think that was a huge advantage that was given me, even if I compare it with many different offers I had locally and many different offers that I had from all over the world.
And what do you prefer about the fact of being a student at ICN?
As Alexandra was saying, the fact of becoming a little family, you can feel it since the first day. Because on the very first day, you discover that you are surrounded with a lot of people that comes from different countries. And since that very first moment, you are already working as a team with all of them. And you get mixed between different nationalities, different ways of thinking, different ways of helping each other. And the best that you can do also as a student is to embrace all these different knowledges in order to grow up together as one block.
We're not going to talk about the pedagogy of ICN Business School. Kamel, can you tell us the distinctive feature of ICN, which Artem Alliance is, and why do you think it is important for students?
Well, ICN has many specificities. I mean, Alexandra mentioned the family spirit, the geographical location, the strong international dimension of the school. But as you mentioned, one of the specificity is this Artem Alliance. Artem stands for Art, Technology and Management. It is an alliance that started many years ago between three schools here in Nancy, the engineering school, or Mine Nancy, the School of Art and Design of Nancy, and ICN Business School. Since 2017, the three schools are on the same campus. But Artem, for us, it's not only about being on the same campus or share the same premises. It goes beyond that. And it is important for a student because it gives them the opportunity to go beyond what I would call a traditional teaching and help them also to see things from a global and holistic perspective. Okay, we do a lot of things within this Artem or within this Artem philosophy, like activities like creative business days, where we gather students from the three schools and ask them to work in groups on projects related to sustainability, related to business ethics, related to all kind of challenges related to doing business. We have also activities we call Artem workshops, Artem Insight. And the key here is that students are faced with the challenge of looking at things from different perspectives. Okay, because nowadays problems involve more stakeholders, and if you are not prepared for this in the future, you will struggle basically.
And can you tell us a few words about Station A?
Well, Station A is, or Station A, we call it also Station A. It is basically a creative space designed to accommodate this creative spirit at ICN Business School, which is supported by this Artem philosophy. Okay, and when I talk about Artem philosophy, I mainly refer to this transdisciplinary approach to which we expose our students. Not only students, of course, because we do also research within this Artem approach, basically, Artem philosophy. Station A, it is also a meeting point of ICN and the actors of its ecosystem. Okay, so we do implement our innovations in pedagogy, but we do also research in Station A because, like myself, I have some colleagues also who are interested in doing research in transdisciplinarity, and Station A could be seen as an empirical field to collect data and try to improve and create knowledge, basically.
And in what way courses offered at Isen are different and aim at this goal of creating creative leaders?
Well, again, like all schools, we teach the fundamentals of disciplines like finance, marketing, HR, etc., etc. But the difference, in my opinion, is these complementary activities. And when I say complementary, they are not electives; they are part of the curriculum. But they again introduce our students to different ways to look at the problems. Okay, this approach, again supported by the Artem philosophy and the principles of transdisciplinarity, help our students to develop skills such as hyper adaptability, which is the opposite of hyper speciality. I'm not saying that being a specialist is a bad thing, but I think with nowadays challenge, hyper adaptability is more appropriate than hyper speciality.
We have a lot of questions coming from the chat. Thanks a lot, and you can keep on asking the questions. We have, for instance, question about the admission process. A lot of questions, I have to say, about the admission process. You can keep on asking them, and we're going to talk about admission in a few minutes. But before that, and before continuing the interview, we're going to watch a little trailer to discover more about ICN Business School and its spirit, and we will be back just after that.
Each one of us, you, him, her, me, has a dream deep down inside. The dream of thriving, of getting further, of being happy. The dream of being unique, of being yourself. The dream of fulfilling yourself. The dream of reaching your ambitions. The dream of being responsible, of becoming master of your own destiny. The dream of a better world. Because if the world has absolutely no sense, who's stopping us from inventing one?
You say everything, everything, everything's just perfect. Everything, everything, everything's fine. You say everything, everything, everything's just perfect. Everything, everything, everything's fine.
Each one of us, you, him, her, me, we all have a dream deep down. The dream of a better world. Join our family.
So we can see that there is a real creative spirit at Isen. Maybe Alexandra, you can tell us how this creative spirit is illustrated in both postgraduate and undergraduate programs.
Yes. So in fact, we have it's at the core of our courses. On the bachelor level, we have already some art and workshops to develop this creativity during within our students. And the master level, we have 20% of courses are dedicated to workshops. So it can be something to management, to robotics, from an influencer. It can be linked to video games and geek culture, sustainability development, so a lot of topics to broaden your horizons.
We're going now to talk about the degrees, and maybe Alexandra, you can tell us if the degrees are certified.
It's a very important point, I think, to stress out. So yes, we are not only triple accredited, but our programs are accredited RNCP. We are a part of Conférence des Grandes Écoles, and we are really happy to say that this year we are ranked first according to l'Étudiant as a bachelor in management. So very good recognition, I would say.
And what are then the different master specializations?
We have 17 master specializations, which are grouped in 4 fields. So it will be marketing, business development, management, and finance. I would like to maybe stress some main specializations such as luxury and design management. We have a lot of students coming for this specialization. Creative culture and cultural industries on Paris campus, and sustainable innovation management in Berlin. So very nice specializations that I advise you to discover. We are also very keen on finance. Finance don't have this in French, so a lot of specialization to discover.
A lot of different specialization, and we're going to focus on the MSc in International Management. The MIEX, we already talked a little bit about it, but maybe you can, Kamel, tell us a little bit for which candidates this MSc MIEX is made for.
The program basically, as I said earlier on, is designed for anyone who is really interested in this international mobility. We recruit students who come from business and management backgrounds, but we do also recruit students who have different backgrounds, such as literature, languages, engineering, etc., etc. So anyone who has graduated as bachelor, who has bachelor degree, can apply for this master program. But also anyone who has a master degree in any other fields can also apply for this master degree.
And if you have a let's say, scientific or managerial background, do you have some classes, some courses to help you maybe to be better in math or to discover the basic of management? How do you help the students without the background, the usual background, let's say?
Yes, we have what we call refresher courses. Dedicated to introduce students to field, as you said, such as finance.
And maybe you can tell us, Alejandro, a little bit more about the MSc. First of all, what were the different classes that you have in this MSc?
I would like to explain a little bit how it worked for me because, as Camille said, in the second year you have some choices that you can take, and based on the fact that I already had some full working experience, the MBA part was super attractive for me to take in account for the global project that I had as a personal goal. So during the first part, it was all my studies in France, then in Italy, and then in China. So also I chose China because I wanted to keep going into the deepness of the business side, since my bachelor's degree was more related to informatics. And I had already some notions about all the business environment, but during my professional life, I understood the importance of this creative leadership that was already explained, and how I could grow up in order to mix it also with some business knowledge that I knew I had to acquire in order to step up for the next challenges that I could be facing in my professional life. So based on that, one of my favorite classes that I really appreciated was to experience more about the marketing world and how it was evolving, to understand as well the basis of it. But as Alexandra also added, we had some workshops that were mixed with this lecture part, and the fact of having sometimes the ex-alumni presenting themselves and how they were working in their workplaces, and also they were giving probably one-day lectures about project management, etc. These were also something really nice in order to complement all the other lectures. And of course, you have like a really good package when you summarize all these kind of things and all this knowledge, because time really flies when you are studying in this program. And when you get like at the end of the day, all the sum up of all these things that you receive as a new knowledge for your professional future, you understand that it's really a lot.
Kamel, how are the courses divided between theoretical and practical knowledge? How does it work?
Well, we still believe, and I think it is important also that to believe that theory matters, but also practical is also important, because that's what creates, let's say, the discursive relationship between theory and the practice. I mean, we have lectures, but we have also all type of other activities where students are faced with the challenge of dealing with issues. This could be through case studies, but it could also be through seminars. Again, I take the case of the NIEX. In the NIEX program, we have a 1 week seminar dedicated to innovation and ideation process. And this also is stimulated by this Artem philosophy. And it really brings students to practitioners, but it brings practitioners to students as well. That's how we create the balance between theory and practice.
And Alejandro, is there a lot of group projects? And maybe can you describe one of the projects you had to conduct during the MSc?
Yes, as I said, even since the very beginning, you understand that one of the goals of the program is also for you to be involved with different people in order to work all along and to produce results, because at the end that's what you will get in your professional life. You will have to face these kind of situations, and one of the projects that I remember was related to build a business and then to present it to others, and even compare and kind of compete, because there could be some challenges between both teams, and you could be challenged and asked of why some financial numbers could look alike, and that's why also these particular courses that Kamil was speaking about, of people who probably didn't have a finance background, or that needed like to have this certain knowledge in order also to apply it during the courses, were important for them, because that also allowed us all to work together and were to produce a result, you have to understand the result of it. So that's why it's also super important that we receive this kind of courses in order to produce the results with a meaning on the way.
And we're now going to talk about the student life because we talked a lot about the program and we detailed what we can do and how we do it and how we learn it. But Alejandro, how is it like to be a student at Isen? First of all, in which campus are you located?
I was located in Nancy.
Okay. How was the city? How was it for you? Was it your first time in France?
Yes, actually, yes, I have some concerns because it was my first time in Europe, actually. So I was a little bit open in the sense that everything could surprise me for sure.
Yeah.
I think that in general, the campus offers you all the facilities that you could ask as a student. There is surely nothing to say that it's missing over there because the rooms are quite well constructed in order to give you the tools and also to the teacher and the people who is in front of you to teach you and to give you the knowledge of all the subjects that you will receive. In general, also as a student part, going to the library and to find things that normally are sources for fulfilling the task that you will be given to do during the student life. It's really nice, and the fact also of being in sharing the same hall with all these other universities in the Artem, it's also quite fulfilling to see how this complements the spirit that in general ICN and I think all these schools are planning to give to everyone in order to work all along.
And what are the different activities that you can do on the campus? What can you do and in the city?
Kamil, I think you raised a hand.
Yeah, maybe Kamal, you can explain a little bit for the students what can they do?
I want just to pick up on your question and with which campus Alejandro was based. Just to specify that the MEACS program takes place in 3 different countries. I mean, all the cohorts spend the first semester in Nancy, the second semester in Bologna in Italy, and the second year students, they choose among the other options basically. Okay. And in the case of Alejandro, he chose to go to China, but other students, they want in different destinations as well.
No, that's important to tell that. And you maybe, Kamal, you can tell us a few words about the student life. How is it to what are the different activities offered to the student? What do you see as a teacher?
Well, I think our students they don't really rest. No, they don't rest between classes. I think all students also, we have really a strong associative life here. We have almost 40 associations at ICN, and all students, they go through these associations. They are also involved in other activities, sports activities. I mean, Nancy, for instance, is a city where you find many students. The university here also helps, or students who come to university help also other students to be integrated in life in Nancy. I don't share many things with the students beyond the classes, but I think they don't really rest.
Alexandra, we know that sometimes coming to France for the first time with all the visa procedures, all of that, can be really, really, really complicated. Not that complicated because at the end the students are in France, but maybe all the administrative steps can be a little bit frightening for the students. How do you help them with all the procedures and in their installation in France?
Of course. In fact, we help students before their arrival. So we have like a person dedicated to help them with the accommodation, for instance. And once they are on campus, we have like a student association dedicated to international students. So they help them to open a bank account, to find to find a little bit some activities in the city. So I think it's rather well structured, and we try to make this coming to our city easier for international students, I would say.
And then what are the different events organized for the integration of students, for instance?
We have every year, even during the COVID time, we have this integration week or welcome day events. It was a little bit challenging this year with the COVID times. Usually it was like a hybrid time, something like a treasure hunt, something like this. And there is a lot of activities during the year, like International Week. We have also one-to-one support for every student. So we have a chance also to have some like psychological help also. So it's very useful during these COVID times as well.
What would be your advice, Alejandro, for the students who want to come to study in France? What would you like to say?
Yeah, well, I guess there are like two parts, because one, it's about the student life that we're seeing, for instance, from a personal experience. I remember when I arrived to France and I looked for a place to live, and I was living like 1 hour away from the campus, actually in another little village. So as Alexandra said, there is an international team who is helping, and I think basically I forgot to approach to them, and then I understood the importance of really approaching to them. So for me, that's why one advice would be like, do not hesitate always to ask questions, to come to people who has this expertise, because at the end it's a program that has already gone for more than 15 years. And that's why it's important to approach to all the people who will be always willing to give you a hand. On the other half, for the normal student life situation, I also believe that we're living a really complicated context that at the end will reconfigure everything again. So that's why it acquires more importance, the fact of being able to come as a really open-minded person, to embrace, as I said, all the knowledge that you can get from your teachers, from all the other people, from their experiences, even the school that they had back home. For me, as an overseas student, it was super important in order to evolve not only as a student, as well as a human and as a person.
That's really, really, really interesting. We're now going to talk about the admission process with you, Alexandra. Really easy questions, and that was the question of a lot of students in the chat section. What are the different steps to apply to ICN?
We have like 2 steps to apply to ICN. So first of all, there is an application file. So the CV, letter of motivation, your transcript of records, letter of recommendation. We also ask it to be furnished. And also the certificate of language, so either in French or in English, depending on the specialization of your choice. And the other part is the online interview. So it will be a pre-registered interview that you have to answer some questions about your motivations for the program, your professional project. And based on these 2 elements, our academic body is issuing the final decision. So usually it takes about 1 month to get the final decision from the beginning of the candidature.
And what kind of candidates are you looking for? What are maybe the key personalities that you want?
I think that it's all about how Alejandro said about open your mindset, that you've had the fact that you are open to different experience. It's not only about grades. I think it's of course important, but it's also about the personality, about the fact that someone wants to really participate in the ICN life. So I can imagine that Kamil will maybe add something, but yes, someone who wants to participate, who are eager to develop new solutions. So this kind of proactive students we are looking for.
Kamel, how can you detect?
I will add something in my opinion very important. As mentioned by Alexandra, grades is not really the key element here. We are looking for open-minded students who are ready to accept that they can be wrong. We, in general, in business schools, we don't teach the students how to be wrong. But what we do at ICN, through this transdisciplinarity or transdisciplinary approach, we expose our students to this. And I think open-mindedness in this global world is really a key feature or a key characteristic or a key quality. So it is important that you have this open-mindedness if you want to join a family with 38% of students who are international, and half of the faculty members are also international. I think it is a key element.
And Kamel, how do you detect open-mindedness in the spirit of the candidates? What are for you the key ideas of somebody with an open mind?
Well, we do it differently in different programs. I'll share with you a very good example. When we recruit our students for our program Grande École, basically we are the only, I think one of the few schools, if not the only school, that introduced a card game in the recruitment interview. You know, students, candidates, basically, when they go for their interview, they prepare for all kinds of questions. And with this card game, they cannot be prepared because the people in front of them, they change the exercise all the time. And this is a good indicator to show basically the critical thinking and the creative spirit that students have, okay? Because our aim when we recruit students is to find the match between the candidate's profile and the school profile. This is one example, but also we do it definitely when we interview students through different type of questions.
Well, maybe Alejandro, you can give maybe some advice for passing the admission. What would be your advice for the people watching us today?
Well, in my case, since I went through the process under my university, who is a partner, I believe that people who are coming from all these different partner universities, they have a different process because they are not contacting ICN or the university in Bologna directly. So on my side, as Kamel said, I mean, you prepare like a lot of your stuff because it's a little bit unknown as a student and as a young professional. What can you expect from an interviewer that at the end it's like growing up in this sense as well. On my side, what I would advise, taking my example, is that thinking that you will give your best and that you can express that in your experience, even if it's short, probably a working experience that you have had with an internship, if you have another background that it's not properly directly to business, but if you show this willingness of growing up as a professional, I am sure that the program will take you in, and you will fit perfectly in the program, and you will make also others to be interested to get knowledge from you.
We're now going to talk about the international world and the professional world and the way it's included in at Isen, in the school. Maybe Alexandra, you can tell us a few words about the partner university all over the world. We've just seen that in the MSc there is a different partner university, but in general, is it possible to study abroad? Do you have some strong links and connection with the international? How is it?
In fact, we have more than 120 partner universities, so students can really choose between a lot of countries, and sometimes we have students coming to us and with the clear idea that they want to go to Japan or they want to go to a concrete country. It's linked to the wish list, in fact. So you have to select several universities, and then it will be based on your grades and your motivation that you will be chosen for the partner university. But I would like to also stress the fact that we have also double diplomas. So MIEX, it's really something unique because there is a triple diploma, but we a lot of double diplomas proposed on the bachelor and master degree level. So after 2 or 3 years, 3 years of bachelor or 2 years of master degree, you will get a double diploma. Very, very nice recognition, I would say.
Alejandro, what are your links with the international world? Did you have the opportunity to study a little bit abroad? Are you part of the international programs? How did that work for you?
Yes, as I said, first of all, I studied my bachelor's in one of these universities. It's La Salle in Mexico. I live in love with this university because I was studying there since the kindergarten. So I already understood like all the culture, and every time that one student was like interested to go as well, I was able to share this part. So they could feel some embracement for this part. But I also came with other students which were belonging to these partner universities, and they gave me the same. So in this way, I think that besides all the information that you will get from the universities, because they also take some time to introduce all of them, you can get the experience by each individual that has already had some experience over there. This international road has been so far a great journey, because never in my life I would imagine that I would be living in China, and moreover that survive without speaking Chinese. But it's where I realized that this open-mindedness that we were discussing takes a huge relevance, because as long as you are able to understand the other with all the ways and all the tools possible, you get to develop yourself in a much better way. And these are soft skills and hard skills that ICN as a partner in all this student life is giving you in order to grow.
We can also talk about the internships. Maybe Kamal, you can describe how it works. The internships, it's part of the program and part of the studies.
In general, or in the MIEX program?
Maybe in the MIEX, and then we will talk generally with Alexandra.
Okay, and in the MIEX program, we have internship opportunities at the end of the second year. However, one of, in my opinion, very interesting activities in the program, which can be also considered as an internship, it takes place in the second semester in Bologna, and we call basically the field work activity, in which students work as groups for a company on a consultancy mission. In general, for the second year internships, they are either supervised by the partner university or supervised by ICN or the University of Bologna. We have a career service at ICN Business School, which provides basically help and support to students to design their CVs, to write motivation letter, to prepare them also for interviews. So, and we have also a pool of internship offers that our students can have access to this as well.
This idea of doing internships during the program, that's the same idea for all of the different programs, all of the different fields at ICN.
Yes, it's the case. In fact, you have like on the bachelor level, you will have up to 12 months of professional experience to do. On master degree level, you have a lot of work and studying rhythm, so you can work and study at the same time. I would say that it's really crucial part of our program to have this professional experience, because later on we want our students to continue in the field of their choice.
Alejandro, have you already had the opportunity to achieve an internship, or are you looking for one?
Currently, I work as a full-time in Decathlon here in France. Actually, as Camille was explaining, one of my internships that I had to do was during my second year in China. Was quite challenging because the language barrier was a huge obstacle that, as I said, I was able to cover it. I was working there as a sales representative for this company, and also it allowed me to travel even here to Europe and to be able to express and to apply all these tools that I learned during my student life at ICN and also the different universities. Currently, I work in a project related to the informatic area, but not because I am related into this domain. It doesn't mean that I am not applying all what I learned. I would say it's even the opposite. I am applying it even more because one of my missions is to understand all the needs for many countries in Europe and also in Middle East in order to enhance the business based on the technology. So with this thing, you are able to see that you cannot go like totally to the right or totally to the left. You have to find the pathway in the exact middle in order to give solutions and to produce results in a business.
And what is for you the next steps? What would be your next opportunities? For instance, what do you want to do in 5 or 10 years, being in the same field or maybe having moved to another field, another area? Do you already know?
Fortunately, I think also the world is changing, and that also take relevance the importance of all the program, because you get different subjects from human resources, from the business side with marketing, so that allows you to prepare to the future. Speaking on the company that I work for, I can easily, let's say, change between business units. I found an opportunity here, but to be honest, I really like the business part because I think it's quite challenging, and always it's in a constant change, and this is really attractive for me. I started to work for Decathlon since I was in China, and then I got, thanks of course, like also to the degree that I got from ICN, the opportunity to come here. I see myself probably in the future coming back to Asia, to a more underdeveloped country, because my approach would be to help these different little social status people with the enhancement through sport. But for that, I need to understand perfectly well all the business flow and all the business working here in France. So that's why I decided to come here, because it would give me a huge platform in order to make my future career steps. But I know that I am also here based on the fact that I choose this program, because this was the key in order to open me not only this door, I would say many doors, as I have already gone through.
Alexandra, what would be the other opportunities for the people at ICN? We had like a very interesting a case study, let's say, but in general, what can we do after ICN Business School?
I think a lot of doors, how Alejandro said, are open to you, because we are in different students are doing different specializations. So we have students in accounting, in distribution, in media, in luxury industries. So a lot of possibilities, and we have, of course, as we are triple accredited, we have to have good statistics linked to them. So we can be proud to say that most of our students and majority of our students are finding quickly internships and the first professional experience. And also the network of alumni are helping in this finding a professional experience, I would say.
Mm. And what are the different salaries that your students can have?
It would be good to maybe ask Alejandro, but I think that from statistics point of view, I think for bachelor degree, it can go up until 39,000 euros per year, and for master level even higher with years. So we are quite happy to share this information with our potential candidates, I would say.
Kamel, what would be your last message to conclude? What you want to share with our audience watching us today?
Well, if you want to be a global citizen, if you want to basically grow within an international context, you need to dare. If you dare, you come and join the MIEX, the ICN family, and we will help you to grow.
That's really cool. Same question for you, Alejandro. What would you like to share with the audience today?
You will experience one of the best times of your life for sure if you decide to go through this program, because it's not only what you will live during these years, it's also what you will live after them, and all the things that you will continue to work and to speak with all the people that you are going to meet, like me today, and that's why I am also here, because I put myself in contact with my school. And surely you will discover a new world, and you will succeed on it.
And Alexandra, what would you like to say to conclude?
To conclude, I would say that we are here to convince you and maybe to share with you our experience, and say that we are a big family to join, and we are looking for new candidates from all over the world, I hope.
Thanks a lot to the three of you for coming today, and if you want more information, you can go on the website of ICN Business School. I hope we answered all of your questions. If you still have questions, don't hesitate to ask them on the chat section, and both teams of Campus France and ICN Business School will be able to answer them, and don't hesitate to visit the website. See you soon on Campus France Live.